Dear students, the topic I am going to discuss with you today is about the animal relationship, which is coming under the paper Environmental Biology. I am Dr.S.Angelina Glorita Parimala, Associate Professor of Zoology, A.D.M College for Women, Nagapattinam. Let us see the details. Animal relationship means an association, an interaction, a connection or an involvement between two or more individuals, or the way in which two or more individuals are connected with each other. Based on that, different types of relations found among organisms. It ensures food and space among organisms, and also it results positive and negative interactions. Positive means beneficial interaction and negative means harmful interactions. The relationship happens either direct or indirect. Among the members within a species, this is called interspecific relationship, and the relationship between the members of different group is called as interspecific relationship. Interspecific relationship which occurs within the members of the same species. This figure shows the relationship among the group of parrots. The next one is interspecific relationship. Here we can see the relationship among the members of different group. For example, goat and cat. The next is about the types of interactions in animal relationship. Number 1, positive interaction. Number 2, negative interaction. Here, under the positive interaction, there are two types, mutualism and commensalism. Under the negative interactions, there are three types, predation, parasitism and competition. In positive interaction, it will be beneficial to both of them or any one of the partner. There is no harm to both of them. There are two types, namely mutualism and commensalism. The term mutualism literally called living together. Hence, the mutualism is a relationship between two dissimilar organisms that are mutually beneficial with each other. Examples for mutualism are crocodile and flower bird. Flower bird gets food particles from the teeth of the crocodile as food. Crocodile gets cleaning of attached food particles from the teeth. This is a diagram shows the relationship between the crocodile and flower bird. Here the bird is sitting on the mouth and pick up the food particles present in between the teeth of the crocodile. The next one is the relationship between flower and butterfly. Here the flower gives nectar to the butterfly and the butterfly helps for the pollination in flower. The next is also another example between the flower and honeybee. Here the flower gets pollination by honeybee and honeybee takes nectar from the flower. The next one is about the commensalism. Here the commensalism or symbiosis is an interaction between two different species of living organisms for food, space, shelter, defense and transport. Here the organisms which are involved are called as commensals. Examples for commensalism, here we can take orchid and mango tree. Here the orchid attaches on the mango tree, but there is no benefit to the mango tree. The next examples, clownfishes and sea anemones. Here the anemones provides protection and shelter to the clownfishes. Fishes happily swim in between the tentacles of the sea anemone. The next is about the types of commensalism. Number 1, permanent commensalism. The commensals remain constant permanently with each other. For example, barnacles attached on the skin of the whales to move from one place to another place. This is a diagram shows the relationship between the whales and barnacles. Here we can see the attachment of the barnacles on the skin of the whales. This is a close-up diagram of how the barnacles attaches on the skin of the whale. The next is about the temporary commensalism. Here, the commensals got temporary contact with each other. For example, suckerfishes and sharks. This is a diagram shows the relationship between the suckerfish and shark. The sucker present on the ventral surface of the suckerfish will attach on the skin of the shark. When the shark moves, it will also move from one place to another place. The next is about the negative interaction. Here, one of the partner is benefited and the another partner gets harm. There are three types of negative interactions, namely predation, parasitism, and competition. Predation means an interaction between predator and prey. Predator kills and eats its prey, for example, tiger and deer. The next is about the parasitism. Here it is a biological relationship between host and parasite. Parasite gets benefit and host gets damage and harm. There are types of parasites. Here we can see the presence of ecto and endoparasites. This is otherwise called as external and internal parasites. Ectoparasite means it lives on the outer surface of the body, and the endoparasite, it lives on the inner surface of the body. These are some examples for ectoparasites. Here it includes bedbugs, lice, ticks, mites, etc. This is a diagram shows the attachment of the parasites on the skin of the pig. Here leeches or the ectoparasite, it attaches on the outer surface of the pig. This is a leech collected from a pig, the close-up diagram. The next one is about the endoparasites. Here it includes worms and flukes, and also we can see the presence of whipworm, roundworm, hookworm, pinworm, tapeworm, etc. The flukes or intracellular parasites, for example, liver fluke, it causes the damage to the liver and bile duct of the human. This is a diagram of Fasciola hepatica. Then another type of parasites which include permanent and temporary parasites. Permanent parasites spend their entire life as parasites. For example, filarial worm. This is Ucherichia bancrofti. It causes the disease elephantiasis in human. And another malarial parasite, namely Plasmodium falciparum, which causes a disease called malaria in human. This is a diagram of filarial worm, Ucherichia bancrofti. This is a diagram of Plasmodium. It is a malarial parasite present in the human. The next is about the temporary parasites. Here the temporary parasites which spend a portion of their life as parasites on the host. Example, lamprey, petromyzon, and a large marine fish. The lamprey sucks the blood with the help of its sucker by the attachment on the skin of the large fishes and leaves the host after the sucking the blood. This figure shows the petromyzon with its sucker on the mouth. This is the entire view of the petromyzon. The next is about the parasitic adaptation in Glochidium larvae. Here the Glochidium larvae of freshwater mussel attaches to the host fish by its hooks till it attains a young stage. This is a diagram of Glochidium larva which is attaches on the gills of the fish. The next is about the competition. It is another biological relationship. Here two individuals compete for food, water, territory and for other resources. There are two types of competitions, intraspecific and interspecific. Here in intraspecific competition, it occurs between the individuals of the same species. For example, larger fishes preying on smaller fishes. This figure shows the relationship between hyena and lion. Here both of them are competing for the territory. The next is about the interspecific competition. It occurs between two different species. For example, fishes eating on mosquito larvae and carnivores feeding on herbivores. Here the figure shows the different stages of larvae and pupae of the mosquito. This figure shows the fish feed on the mosquito larvae. The larvae of mosquito is a nutritive live feed to the fish. This is a summary of relationship among the organisms, and this table shows the relationship of neutralism, mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, predation and competition. To conclude, the importance of animal association, the biological relationships among the organisms that promote its survival, and it plays a vital role in the food chain and food web. It causes the continuous energy flow in an ecosystem, and in turn it maintains an ecological balance in the environment. Thank you.